we shall see how the next part of the project execution deals with some other physical chemistry aspects. I hope you are aware of the Curie temperature, Néel temperature, and the concept of ferromagnetism and ferrimagnetism. So that's what it is asking you to take into cognizance about the terms and the concepts of the temperature. What you can do is collect some magnetic material. For example, you can have the soil, some soil. If I remember exactly, there is a place near Alangam. After Alangam, if you cross about 6 kilometers, there is a place called as where the nuclear chemistry department, that is the atomic energy department of government of India, had some drilling sessions, and they used the soil sample to analyze its radioactivity, and also it had got some magnetic properties. Rasimala, something like that, near Alangam is there. So you can collect soil samples and measure this magnetic property. That's what is being mentioned is the ferromagnetic material there from different places. Okay. Now the difference between, you can always find out the difference between the uh, hills and the heaps. So the one that I was telling, Rasimalai, near Alangam, okay, it is called as the Rasimalai. It is having some radioactive sample inside. It is having radioactive material there. It's near Alangam. So they also wanted us to study about the effect of radiation on agriculture. So they drilled several holes near the heap. This is something like volcanic ash, volcanic dried ash. Okay. So there used to be some active volcano area at so many places near Palikunda. Between the Paligunda to the Gudagattur, you have got so many heaps there. You can always differentiate between hills and these particular heaps. They have got several radioactive samples. So once you mention that it may be having thorium or zirconium, then you can go ahead with the connectivity of chemistry with those particular samples and have an idea of what the permanent magnets and temporary magnet is there, and then this Curie and Néel temperature followed by the domain theory of magnetism and what happens when temperature is affected. And you can raise the question, what's an object temperature actually measure of? What happens at atomic level when we heat up a substance? It's very important. The domains, are considered as some regions there where you have got some electrons. And in paramagnetic substance, all of these electrons are something like paired these things. And the diamagnetic substance, it will have something paired, quite opposite. And ferromagnetic substance, I think it is having something like this. So some up and some down, something like this and something like this and something like this and something like this. Okay, it's a random orientation, but the resultant spin is giving rise to some electromagnetic properties. And how could heating up, cooling of magnet affect the alignments of this magnetic means? And how could you measure the strength of a magnet? So these things, here you see this diagram. You see this diagram there, okay, north and south. So you can collect samples also and measure the. Let's see what the experiment I have taken from that. The large ceramic magnet like 4.5 inches diameter magnets are available at Amazon.com and Grainger.com. Now, this is not used neodymium or rare earth magnets as they might not give clear results for this test. So very less power they are having. So that is why it is asking you not to use it. Best results are obtained with large magnets, and some thick magnets listed from there. Avoid using thick magnets as they will take a while to heat or cool. So some things are there. You can see is giving the instructions how to use it, thick and thin and dense or less dense, something like that. So here is the main fact, that is the constants and variable I have been telling you to take up. So you can see flat surface or plate at least 2 inches wider than the diameter of a magnet. Digital scale for measuring the weight, and a small bore containing to be used as measuring mode to collect paper, thermometer, freezer, ice cubes for lowering the temperature, water, stove, all those things are there. So it is, you can carry these are several variables here. You see it is in magnetism is measured in freezer, magnetism is measured in ice water bath, magnetism is measured at room, and it's at the boiling water. So you have again 4 variables. Yeah. What is constant there? Constant is weight of magnet or dimensions of the magnet. In your case, it may be weight of the soil sample and the packet in which you are taking for the measuring the soil sample is there. So when you once you have data, you can proceed and then come up with some good results there. Okay. Then is the next part. It uses the concept of surface tension. Usually, surface tension is connected more by physics. Okay. But what you can do is, for your project, you can take up certain equations having surface tension, and find out what are the variables there, variables and constants there, and bring them to experimental conditions. If you have ever blown up a balloon, you know it's pretty easy to blow up without becoming out of breath, and it's made of soft, stretchy rubber. It is because the balloon offers little resistance in becoming stressed as it is blown up. But for a balloon made up of thicker, stiffer rubber, more energy is required to blow it up, and the balloon offers more resistance to stretching. Think of a balloon as a model of surface tension. How to stretch the balloon material is determined how much resistance. The resistance is now given as the surface tension. Balloon. Surface tension is defined as energy required to increase the surface area by unit amount. Write the equation and derive it. Include the equations in your project report. That will give credibility to whatever work you've done and have as many. So here, what is it's telling you to know the concept of resistance, surface tension, molecule which you are using. This is your sample there. Any liquid sample. Soap or wash liquid from various sources. Okay. Then you can define the cohesive forces. Cohesive means which joins them. And then use the terms of the polar molecule, mesolar, hydrophobic surface tension. These are all the terms you have to aware of that. And what causes surface tension? How do surface tensions decrease the surface tension of water? This is very important. So you can find some answers there in polymer chemistry also. And you can use the idea accordingly. What happens to water molecules when a drop of surface is put in the middle of them? And then here are some of the basic equipments they are used. You can see there, kitchen sponges, scissors, ruler, transparencies like those used on overhead projector. Okay, Transparency means, we can, it is like a cuvette we use in colorimetry. Hmm. So scissors, ruler, etc. All those things are there. You can read it later. Okay. Now the other substance to test their effect on water surface tension. So for this, you can use your area water and have variables. Suppose if you are belonging at this place, collect water from 1 kilometer, collect water from 2 kilometer, collect water from 3 kilometer, collect water from 4 kilometer, and then collect water from 5 kilometer. Radius is there, so you can always find the. You can go to different places, collect water samples, and test the influence of toothpaste material, liquid hand soap, vegetable oil, table salt, cornstarch, vinegar into this water, and what happens. See what happens, how it goes. And the measurements are often, how this can be measured in the lab is there in many places. Once you search the literature, here is the methodology they are given there. Methodology or experiment. They are using the sponge there. At least 10, cut the sponge into at least 10 small anti-sized pieces that are about 1.5 and 1.5 centimeters. So this is a constant. The sponge will fit into the space cut in the back of the raft. So this is the, I think this is the raft. Okay, this is the raft means, what is the, I mean, the raft? It is like a boat. This is the sponge. This is like a boat. Small, you can test in the water. So if you, raft means, it's a small boat. It can glide over the water and draw a shape onto the transparency. An example of design is shown in this figure here. Should be symmetric. The raft should be small enough that it can travel short distance in your basin or sink. This is the experiment. So if you have well or if you have tank, that will also work. Tank will do. Okay. Size initial. Now that is. He suggests the initial of 7 to 13 centimeter long and width of approximately half the length. You record the size of your raft in your lab notebook. You will cut a space at the back of the raft where the sponge will be. Is it? And then it should be slightly larger than a sponge. For example, you made a sponge 1.5, 1.5, you can cut by 2 by 2. So this is a gap that is there. Is there, it's easy to put the gap. Okay. And in the metallurgy, cut out the raft, run a toothpick horizontally through one of the small sponges so that the two ends of the toothpick can rest on the transparency. Where is the toothpick? This is the toothpick there. So that the end of the two ends toothpick can rest. Okay, so it's telling here, fill the basin of sink with top water, put the raft into the water surface and let it float. Use an eye drop of, put the drop of a liquid reagent. Okay, here is the variable. You should have different variety of reagents. If one drop is not enough, put one or two more. So and see the raft does not require much detachment to start moving. Observe the motion. Record all observations in the notebook. For measuring the distance moved. For example, you can even find out the distance moved by some mobile photography app. You can go to Google Play Store, make a search there, and find out which can measure the movement in terms of the centimeter or inches. Okay. So from your background research, you should know that the divergence decreases the surface tension of water, and you need to explain the result properly accordingly to that. Here is the important part of the table, very essential. Shared for all your work. Look at the observation there. Did the raft move fastest speed, good or bad motor? liquid hand soap, toothpaste, vegetable oil, table salt. You can use 10 samples. Okay, so shape also you can use. This is another kind of variable there. Large square, large circle, small circle. You can make several boards, different shapes, different geometry. Okay, and get the results there. So if you have data, a conclusion can be made very good. Conclusion can be done very good. So you can use any chemical sample. For that purpose, you can use your own vegetable oil also. Okay. So this is about, this will be useful to the place where I was telling that. So you should note the geology there. Geology. What types of sedimentary rocks make the best storage rocks for petroleum oil? If petroleum is present where you can buy some petrol from outside, connect the soil and store it and find out which is the fastly evaporating. Okay, so this is a measure of, that is, this is a graph of how oil well is used to uh, extract the oil from there. Okay, so here is a very good experiment, and I think some of our students will have some rock samples there. This is a very good piece of experiment. One is limestone, sandstone, and shale. You can have about 5 different samples. All you need is petroleum oil. I think you can use some herbal oil also. Okay, and your own choice. Or vegetable plankton, the rocks, the sediment, the source rock, reservoir rock, permeable. That is the this you will. I think you say it's a membrane. Okay, porous membrane like that. So terms and concepts is asking you. Permeable membrane means sometimes zeolites. Have you heard of that? Zeolites can act like the permeable membranes. So some terms are there. What are the ways in the petroleum oil is used in your home? How is petroleum oil refined? How to geologists petroleum? Just try to find the oil. It's there. Okay. So here is a very good experiment. Sedimentary rock samples of approximately the same size. You will need 3 samples, and they have taken limestone, sandstone, and shale. Shale is a kind of rock. In America, what petroleum is extracted from this shale. So they are now using only shale for petrol. They are not nowadays dependent on the Gulf petroleum crude oil. So instead of using crude oil, they are using this shale. It's a kind of rock. So what you can do is you will need to gather these items like paper. You will hang in a camera and supported app from Google Play Store, eyedropper, mineral oil, and many other. Your own sample is there, and you need a clock. Now the photo shows the addition of 3 drops of oil to the rock sample. Here you can see that this is the dropper tube. He's putting oil into that and into this and into this, where it is absorbed quickly. எந்த இடத்துல quick absorption இருக்குதோ அதில் நல்லா retain பண்ணிக்குது அப்படிங்கிறது. So you can see that taking 5 or 6 samples, if you put some petroleum oil there, if it is quickly absorbed, you can find out that this kind of a rock is able to retain the petroleum very quickly, and so you have very good reservoir of petrol in places where you have such kind of rocks. That is what you know. Okay, so here is the methodology there. You can read that. Preparing your rock sample for testing: limestone, 1 sample of limestone, 1 sample of sandstone, and some 3 paper plates like as given in the previous picture. But they must be more or less similar in size because they are constant. Okay, take pictures you prepared and to find accuracy. Which type of sandstone absorb oil the fastest? Did this match your prediction? Which rock do you think is a reservoir rock? Which rock do you think is very porous rock? Looking at your absorption data level, you will think is impermeable oil. Permeable na ulle nalla போகுது, impermeable na ulle போகல அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். உள்ளே போகலன்னா உள்ள எதுவுமே இருக்காது. So you can see after 30 minutes from the starting time, examine the rack samples again. Okay, examine your rack samples again after 30 minutes of starting time, that is after dropping the so they are used limestone 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, sandstone 1, 2, 3, shell 1, 2, 3. So 9 samples are there. Okay, now starting the observation right after the adding drops at time equals how fast the absorption is. And alternatively, you can use the adsorption theorem also to define absorption theorem. To define terms there, to absorption theorem to define the terms there. So I think you can put to use all your physical chemistry aspect that you studied in second MSc or first MSc. Okay. It is time 0 and this is after 30 minutes. You can also have some variation about 15 minutes and some more observations there. So here is a place where you collect the data and you can come to the conclusion that this particular soil or rock can retain the petroleum. Alternately, you can get petrol also, you can get diesel also, you can get some other ether also to find out which gets absorbed very quickly. So any rock that absorbs very quickly will be retaining the petrol and will also have very good reservoir of that. That's what these things I will tell you about. So have an idea of the adsorption. Here you have seen 3 examples of magnetism, surface tension and the adsorption. So this one is also very useful. You can see how you can use physical chemistry aspects to define the chemical components and this would help you to come out with a project. Okay, thank you for joining me. See you next time.